Yo, this is the Fence Man here with this week's Top Rope TV Fence Man exclusive. I'm here with Molly Holly.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Okay, now Molly, this is an awesome seminar, by the way, and thank you for coming up here, and thanks to Joey Bellini with Warriors of Wrestling for having her. Now, first off, what was it like working for WCW and the Team Madness angle with Macho Man and Medusa?
Well, it was a great experience for me to go from the indies, working in front of 20 people, to be on Nitro during the hottest time when wrestling, the Monday Night Wars were happening. And so for me, it was awesome to be with the people that I used to watch on television as a child, to be in the ring with them. I mean, it was surreal to actually be a part of that experience. I loved it. It was definitely one of the highlights, just to go from minor leagues to being in the main event.
Very cool. And you've been quoted as saying that your angle in WWE with Spike Dudley has been one of the biggest highlights of your career. What made that so?
Well, to be a part of a storyline that fans can connect with, or to look forward to what's going to happen next, that makes the job so worth it, because it's one thing to have a match where you're responsible for entertaining the fans with that, but when there's a story attached to it, you can draw so much more emotion out of the fans and out of yourself to really put on a good show, and so that's why I love that time with Spike.
Okay. Thank you. Now, when the WWF became WWE, you underwent a huge transformation, not just gimmick, but look as well. What was it brought on by changes in WWE that you began to think it was time for something different?
Well, they just needed a heel, and so they just told me to be a heel, and then they didn't really know what kind. And Ivory was super popular with the right to censor, so I was just kind of like a knockoff version of the Ivory's right to censor type of gimmick as a heel, and it worked for me. It was okay. I mean, I didn't really enjoy being a heel, but the transformation was just because Jazz had hurt her knee and they needed a heel, and so they just asked me if I would do it, and I did.
Okay, thank you. And then you've appeared very sporadically for various independent companies and for WWE. But what made you decide to enter into the very first Women's Royal Rumble match?
Well, I got the call from Talent Relations a couple of months before the Rumble, and they just asked me if I wanted to. And I told them I wasn't sure because I didn't want to disappoint the fans. I haven't really done any in-ring stuff for a really long time. I mean, over 10 years. And so I just was worried that I was going to disappoint. And so I was like, I don't know if I should. And they assured me that, I'd be able to practice and that everything would be fine. And so I agreed to do it. And I'm glad I did. It was really fun to catch up with old friends.
Very cool. And now, will you be working any more on-screen events with WWE in the future?
If they offer me a lot of money, the answer is yes. It's possible. I mean, I have no idea if they're calling me back to do stuff, but I'm always flattered when they remember me or ask me to do something. And so if they call me and if it's something I feel like I can pull off, then I'll probably say yes.
Okay. Very cool. And now, what are your thoughts on Beth Phoenix? I know you and her have had a friendship with each other in the indie circuit. Now, would you like to talk about your friendship with Beth Phoenix at all?
Well, I really never worked with Beth full time. She was a fan, and she came and met me at some WWE fan access type of thing. And I really liked her, and she gave me a VHS tape, and she told me she was a pro wrestler. I watched it. I thought she was good. I helped her with her tryouts and everything. But we never, hung out on the indies. And really, I had left the WWE about the time that she had started. So we never really worked together. But during the time that she was trying to make it, I knew she was going to be good. And so I did my best to try to help her at least put her best foot forward, even though she already had the talent, and she might have made it regardless of me. But I just saw something special in her, and so, like I said, we didn't really hang out a bunch, but I just knew that she was super talented and that she deserved to be a women's champion.
Okay. Now, also, I was watching a video on YouTube on Gorgeous George, and she mentioned you in the video. Now, have you ever worked with Gorgeous George or had any experience with her?
Well, it was actually because of Gorgeous George that I got my big break in WCW. She asked Macho Man if I could be a part of their entourage on television, and he said yes. So I taught her the wrestling moves that helped her in her match against Charles Robinson at one of the WCW pay-per-views. And even though she's wild and crazy, I really enjoyed her friendship and working with her.
Now, also here's another question. I was also watching on YouTube as well about Substance Church. I was doing some research on you and your career since I know I'll be coming out here. I know personally I'm a Christian myself, and I have a strong belief in Jesus Christ and growing in my spirituality every day. Now, I saw you were talking about going to Substance Church. Now, could you tell the fans what faith you identify with and how does it affect your role being in the wrestling business?
Yeah, so I'm super into Jesus. I guess that's my affiliation, is that I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. As far as my church style, it's not super traditional, but we go to the Bible for truth, and we believe in God's love and forgiveness, and so that's I'm kind of disassociated from the wrestling tribe these days, and I definitely feel like my tribe is with other believers in Christ that want to make the world a better place, that want to steward the gifts that God has given us, the way that God has poured love onto us, we want to pour love onto others. And so any group of people that love the Lord and really want to share that love by really loving our neighbors, that's my tribe, and who I love, who energizes me now, I guess.
Because I know, especially in the last 6 months, I'm actually in recovery from alcoholism, and that's what actually one thing that led me to my high spiritual awakening I have. And I know, I feel my spirituality is stronger than ever, and it's just important that how Jesus Christ played a role in my life, and it's just very encouraging to know the same for you too, that the Lord is out there and how powerful God is, and God could do anything at any time, and God could has a plan for everybody in His life. Now, do you have anything else you'd like to add at all, or?
I think that about wraps it up. But thanks for having me.
Okay. Now that was Molly Holly or Nora Benshuk here on Top Rope TV. Thanks for watching, and see you later. Back to you, Ken.